everyone, and welcome back to another video. And this week, as you can tell, I am going to be making art every day for the whole week. I have attempted this before, but I have not succeeded in the past. But I think now I am at a really good place creatively, and just like I feel more relaxed when it comes to my art. I don't take it as seriously. I'm not as like super stressed about every little thing. So I kind of feel more ready to take this on. So I have a lot of cool art coming. I have a lot of stuff that I have not used. I have a lot of canvases, I have some wood, I have some illustration board, I have cardboard even that I have purchased in the past just because like I wanted to try something out that I just didn't end up doing. So yeah, I have a bunch of different canvases to use. I went to the museum this weekend too, so I just feel like really inspired, and I wanted to be really intentional with my museum visit this time around. So I took pictures of everything that I really liked and everything that made me just like feel a certain way, whether that was like color or form or the messaging behind the work. So yeah, I also ended up making myself like a little museum log in a way on Notability. So like I just imported the pictures of the stuff that I liked, and I kind of made note of all the stuff that I enjoyed about each thing. Like I said, I was able to like even color drop some of the colors that I liked from the pieces and stuff like that. So that I think will help me kind of like stay on track as far as my intentions with this week and what I want to try and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get into the week. So this is normally kind of how I sketch out ideas for artwork. It's a little bit different than when I'm normally just doodling in my sketchbook. I kind of do a little bit of a mix of random sketches and also words and little blurbs of ideas, just because I have so much coming at me in my brain when I'm brainstorming that I am just trying to get down my idea as fast as I can in a way that I can still understand later on when I'm actually going to start making the piece. So yeah, it's like very random, sometimes like size specific sketches with a lot of notes. So this is what I was doing at the beginning of the week, is just kind of like brainstorming what sort of stuff I wanted to make. So this piece kind of came to me because I was trying to, firstly, I wanted to really make a linoleum hand carving print because I haven't made a new one in a long time, and these are always a really great way to kind of like get started with traditional again, because it's mostly like manual work that you're just doing over and over again. I'm just like carving over and over again, and it's very soothing. I highly recommend, if you've never tried linoleum carving, you can always get these like little easy carve blocks, which are the ones that I get, and you don't have to really push that hard, so it's not like super time consuming either. And yeah, I really loved making this, and I kind of ran into the idea because for a while now I've been trying to reflect on what I kind of hold very close to me in my Mexican culture that could kind of translate into illustration. Just because like, for me at least, the typical stuff that we see, like the whole like hot Cheetos or just like the abuelita chocolate and stuff like that, that just is not what I hold very close to myself in like my experience, because I had both of those things, and it's perfectly fine if that is what you really took away from your Mexican upbringing. It's just not what I took away from it. So I think it's taken me a while to kind of figure out what I want to make that feels very true to me and again could still translate. And I grew up drinking a fuck ton of Yakults. It's a very common thing for Mexican households. Way is a slang term in Mexico, and there's a meme where there is a child saying Yahweh. Yeah, I felt like that could be a fun way to kind of like incorporate it into my artwork and also keep it true to myself. I have this really nice, like, fibrous paper, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to print my carving onto the paper. And I need to do a test print first, but I'm going to go ahead and break up my pieces because I want to keep, like, the frayed edge, you know, consistent, because if I were to cut it, it would be like a straight edge and then frayed. So the way to do that is I just like continuously fold the paper back and forth, and then it should be really easy to tear, and it should tear in a straight line, hopefully. So for this painting, I am using a picture of a chair off of Google as reference just to see how the light hits it, and then I can kind of just base my chair off of that, because I mean this is like a very illustrative piece regardless, like it's not going to be super based in real life, but it's always nice to have a little guide when it comes to lighting and form and all that. Secretly, this painting was actually the first thing that I made this week. It's just like whenever I started recording this video and decided to take on this challenge, I kind of just wanted to take the first day for myself and just let things flow. I also had this idea sitting in my head for so long that I just needed to get it out. So yeah, I didn't want this to be the first day because I was like so quiet and concentrated. But yeah, this was actually the first painting that I did, but there really isn't much behind it. I just knew I wanted to paint an acrylic painting again. It had been a while, and I wanted to just like turn my brain off and make something with paint, and that was it. I liked it. It's very simple. I sometimes struggle with like dismissing my more simple ideas, but I'm trying to learn that like even those can make really cool stuff and can sometimes even be better than what I think would be a more complex idea. So yeah. So I finished my first artwork of the week and I am pretty satisfied with it. As I was painting it, I had this painting that I did probably over 1.5 years ago now, and it's probably the last acrylic painting that I've done that I was like really proud of, even though it's not really my vibe anymore, like the colors and all that. I still really like the technique that I used whenever I painted this. It feels very confident and loose, textural. I don't know. I really like how I made this. And I kind of had it next to me just as like a security blanket in a way, because I haven't painted with acrylic paint in a really long time, especially not on canvas. I wanted to use up this canvas because it's like a little bit warped. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I wish I would have gone more abstracted with like the perspective on the chair, but overall, I had a lot of fun making it. We are at the halfway mark of this challenge, kind of, and I'm feeling strong. Today I don't really know what I want to go for, so I think I'm going to do some more sketching, but I do know that I am going to prepare a canvas. I think I am going to do a canvas. Yeah, I'm going to do a canvas with some of these star sticky notes that I bought. I think I'm mostly going to use the yellow ones. But one of the pieces that I saw at the Museum of Fine Arts, well, actually several pieces. I saw a lot of artists using like either pieces of paper cut into shapes or sticky notes or even whole pieces of paper and just like layering them on top of canvas and then just painting over it like nothing. And I think it created like some very interesting borders and shapes in the pieces. So I'm gonna try it out. I'm also gonna do probably a test of how paint and gesso will look over this. Just, oh my gosh, just because, yeah, I don't want any surprises, and I've never done something like this before, so I don't want the paper to like bunch up or pill up or anything. I think I'm kind of feeling working with my cardboard today. We'll see. You guys will see. Okay, my closet is kind of messy right now, but let's see what cardboard I am working with. think I want to use a circular one. And these are just cake boards from the craft store. And they're already white, so that's nice. So I think for the main canvas, I think I'm going to use acrylic because I want it to dry fast, and it's also a really big surface area. Like, I don't want to use my gouache to cover all of this. It's going to use up a lot of paint. So I think I'm going to do acrylic for this, and then I'll do gouache for the two that go on top. It just seems faster, I think. So when coming up with an idea for this project, I kind of really thought about what could naturally go into a circular canvas. Like, I really wanted to use the shape in my piece, and the first thing I thought of was a fishbowl. I tried to think of other things. I did think of like making a little tomato man, but since I had already done a tomato sort of painting earlier in the week, I didn't want to do that again. So I thought fishbowl will come very easily to me. I love matching a bunch of different colors that I really love in fish. Like, I just kind of tend to make up fish. I don't really use much reference most of the time. I just kind of make them up and cram in as many colors as I can. So yeah, I kind of wanted to lean into the shape of the main canvas. now for the rest, I just let it soak in hot water and then I can get the rest off. Ta-da! My little cardboard project is finished. It's kind of like, as I was doing it, it's kind of like just like paper cut crafting, just bigger and a little bit harder. Some things that I learned about working with cardboard, at least this specific one, it's much more sensitive than I thought. The edges got messed up quite a bit as I was cutting, which I didn't love. It might just be this specific sort of board. It was very cheap and it's very bouncy too. So it was like very prone to tearing and stuff, but I think it turned out pretty cute. I don't know how much it reads Fishbowl. I feel like I would have to add another piece down here to kind of indicate that it's a fishbowl. I mean, I know it's Fishbowl, but yeah, I had a lot of fun making it regardless. I really love the colors that I made for it and everything, and the paint, both paints, gouache and acrylic gouache, laid down very nicely on here. So yeah, this is like a nice sort of less brain energy project. I'm using this very old Clayboard that I have that was a failed painting and I haven't touched it since. So I'm going to use this to put my stars on, and I'm going to attempt to use my Mod Podge as a way to like secure the stars. Hopefully by tomorrow it will be dry and then I can go ahead and gesso on top. The Mod Podge has actually created a really nice layer on top of them. There's still a little bit of lifting on some, but honestly it should be fine with just the gesso. So far, so good. I always like to mix a lavender. Well, I shouldn't say always. When I remember, I like to mix a really light lavender as like my lightener in a way, because if you just add white, it'll dull it out and it won't look as interesting. So I like to have like a yellow and a light lavender to lighten my colors, so that way it doesn't necessarily totally kill the vibrancy, if that makes sense. It is currently Friday, and I kind of half failed at yesterday's piece just because I didn't finish it. I got a little bit burnt out of making traditional pieces, but it's almost done. I think I can finish it tomorrow maybe. But I think for today, I'm gonna stick to digital just because I haven't done any digital drawing this week, so that kind of made me crave it more. I just feel like painting on my iPad today. It's Friday. I don't feel like sitting in my office, and I'm sure you guys are sick of seeing me in my office. So let's see what I paint. For this piece, I really wanted to do another digital painting practice. I've been doing that over the last couple of months, and I feel like I've been really getting the hang of it. I feel like I am also rekindling my love for portraiture and figuration, because whenever I first really fell in love with art when I was like, I don't know, like 12, I was really obsessed with portraiture and drawing people for a very long time, and I feel like I abandoned that for quite a while just because I feel like simply I wasn't into it. I was like, oh, there's other stuff that you can make that doesn't have to be a face. But now I have kind of circled back to it because I'm really interested in like experimenting in different ways to capture a portrait. And for this one, I was really inspired by this piece that I found on Pinterest, but luckily the artist signed their work, and so it looks like it's by Joy Suke or Suk. And I just really loved how cold the skin tone looks without looking like sickly or zombie-ish. And that was kind of my goal, was to use a more like green blue base for the skin tone of this self-portrait. I wouldn't say that I really succeeded in it not looking sickly. I actually ended up having to adjust it in Lightroom, like the colors and stuff, just to make it feel a little bit less cold. But still, I think it was good practice. I had a lot of fun making it. It really didn't take me that long, which is a good sign always whenever you're learning new techniques or new stuff. As you start getting like faster with it, it's a really good sign. That means that you are starting to really get the hang of it and stuff like that. So yeah, this was really fun. It was very soothing. That day was extremely gloomy. We had a really, really strong storm, and it was just so dark outside, so I just felt like cuddling up on the couch and painting on my iPad. Can you build this for me? I didn't know I was gonna have to build it.
Does that come with it?
Yeah. So this is kind of how I left things. I'm not loving the second head, but I'm gonna just keep pushing through. and finish this up so I can do my last artwork of the week. Okay. It's my friend's birthday today, so while I finish my last piece of the week, they're gonna draw with me. These.
You know, I haven't touched oil pastels since I was in elementary school. Yeah.
Well, these, just a fair warning, they're very soft.
Okay.
So you don't have to press. I'm studying this artist.
Show the audience.
Huh?
Show the audience.
I'm studying this artist for a paper that I'm writing.
Yeah.
So it's like all that's in my brain. And we have reached the end of this week's art challenge, and I almost didn't make it, but I ended up making 6 pieces this week, which I am very proud of. I made a lot of really cool things. I feel I'm really happy with everything, and I think we need to discuss the last few. I didn't really touch on my little double-headed weenie painting. I think it didn't turn out that bad. It's just, I think once I started blocking in the shapes, I started seeing the Lion King cave painting a lot, and that started to really bother me. But I think the details that you can see in like the star-shaped sticky notes are really, really nice. I think it adds a lot of character. And it was really fun to make, especially after I came back the next day and I let the first layer of paint dry. I was able to paint a lot easier, so that is something to know. I don't know if it's the Clayboard. It might be because it's not super porous. But if you're gonna try out painting on top of paper on a canvas or something, definitely let your first layer of acrylic fully dry. And then as far as my digital painting, I told you guys that I ended up tweaking it in Lightroom and changing up the colors a little bit to make it look less sickly. So here's like a little before and after. I tweaked the colors. I'm definitely still learning digital painting. The coloring and all that is very different from painting in real life. So still learning, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. And yesterday's piece was just like a fun pattern. I showed you guys a Joyce Kozloff piece that I was kind of inspired by lately. I'm an art history major, if you didn't know. I am still in school, and I have been writing a paper including Joyce Kozloff as one of like the main artists, and her work is just like super inspiring. So yeah, I just did like a fun, easy oil pastel patterned piece. I didn't really think much about it, and my friend was doing along with me, so it was just like chatting and oil pasteling. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this was inspiring for you to, like, if you haven't picked up traditional in a while, go ahead and do it, or if you just haven't made art in general, to go ahead and do it. I definitely feel slightly burnt out, but I think I'll recover in like a day or two. But I'm happy with everything I made. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's definitely a chunky one, and I will see you guys in the next one.